Hello everyone, welcome back to Coding with Nathan. Today we're building the classic rock, paper, scissors game with statistics and history in Python using the TK interface. This is project number 5 in our beginner series, and it's going to be really fun. We'll not only let you play against the computer, but also keep track of your wins, losses, ties, and show a history of your last games. This project is great practice for working with buttons, tracking data, and displaying live updates in a GUI. So let's build it. All right, as always, we're going to start off by showing you what we are building today. It is this. You can click on rock, paper, scissors. The computer makes its choice and you immediately see who run the round. On the right side, you'll see the live statistics, your wins, computer's wins, and ties. Below that, there's a history showing your last 10 rounds. You can also reset the statistics at any time. Looks pretty cool, right? All right, let's get into it. I'm going to create a rock, paper, scissors game, in which we'll play against the computer. We'll do win-loss tie detection. You will have live score tracking, a game history of the last 10 rounds. You will be able to reset the statistics when you want, and it will have a clean and modern interface. This project combines game logic with data tracking, very useful skills. All right, so as always, we are going to cheat a little bit on the typing, and we're going to start with some of the setup already typed in for us. So what you want to do first is create a file. We call ours rock paper scissors.py. You can call yours whatever you like. And the first thing you need to do is, of course, import the TK interface as TK. This allows you to just type the short TK in front of the functions from the interface. And then we, of course, go even more specific with our message box, so you can just use message box. You don't even have to put TK in front of it. And that is from this statement right here, from Tkinter import message box. And then we need our random number generator so that we can have the computer choose its selection. All right, as always, we have set up some color variables here so that we keep our colors consistent. We don't have to retype all these hex code, RGB hex codes. And you have a convenient place to change them if you do not like our colors. Then we set up our class. Our class we call rock, paper, scissors. All right, we have to have our initialization function. This is where we set up our basic window by calling TK interface, the function TK, give ourselves a title, set the size of the window, set the background color of the window, and make it not resizable. We then set up some of our game statistics. We set up player wins set to 0, computer wins to 0, ties to 0. And we set up a history. This will store the last 10 rounds. Then, of course, we do the standard create our widgets, which will set up all the controls on our TK interface window. So the next function that we have to define is create widgets. All right, so we give ourselves a title using a label. We then set up a frame for the score, and we set up a label for our wins, set up another label for the computer wins, and we set up a label for ties. All right, then make another frame to contain our buttons for our selection. We then set up a label that tells us what to do, which is choose your move. We then set up the 3 buttons, rock, paper, scissors, as buttons. You can get these emotes on Windows. It's the Windows key with period, and we'll let you select one. On other systems, I do not know. But you can also not put them in, and it will work just fine. All right, so after that, we have to have our history. So we create a history frame. Inside the history frame, we've put a label telling us what we're going to display. And then we use a list box. This is what's going to display our history. Then below that, we need the reset button to reset our history when we want. All right, and that is it. We've also predefined our run loop here so that we run our main loop when the class is set up. And we call this run, and below here we have selected so that our file will instantiate our rock, paper, scissors class, and then call the run function to make it work. All right, so now what we will do is we will fill in the rest of the functions that we need to actually make the game work. We'll be All right, so what we need to do now is define our function to actually play the game. We will call that play. And it will include the player choice. Right. And we'll set up a variable called choices. This is so that our computer can choose one. It's an array, rock, paper, and scissors. All right. The computer choice. Then random choices. All right. Then need to learn how to type, but determine the winner. All right. If player choice equals computer choice, then what we have is a tie. Set the color. Color. Then we'll increase the ties count. All right. Else, if the player choice equals rock, and computer choice equals scissors, or continue this line. Player choice equals paper, And computer choice equals rock. Or choice equals scissors and computer choice. All right, so we are checking for all the conditions which you win for. And so if this happens, the result is going to be you win. Color, it's going to be the you win color. And player wins goes up by 1. All right. And if you didn't win, that means you lost. And the computer wins. So we use the lose color. Increment the computer wins. All right. Then, having determined who won, need to update the results. Here we go, self.alt label.config text equals F. Your score is this is what you chose. This is what the computer chose. And we're going to put in a line and tell you the result. All right. Do that in the foreground equals color. Color we have selected. Okay, so after updating the results, then we add it to the history. History. Whoa, this is not right. It's not what we want to do. We want to go create a new variable, history text. You choice. Where is that? Nope, nope, nope. Okay, we're going to correct this while we're here. Computer. All right, so basically duplicate this line up here. Except for we're going to shorten it a little. And we're just going to put in the results here. All right. Then we're going to self.history lists, history, insert, history, text. Length self.history is greater than 10. Self.history.pop. This will take one out of our list. All right, and then what we need to do is call our update history routine and self our update scores. All right, we're done with our play loop. Now we have to fill in the functions that we just called. So we got update scores, self, and all we are doing here is self.player score label big text F U self.player wins. All right. All right, and then self.computer score label big text this computer and computer wins. Right there. And then we also need to put in the ties. Self.tie label big text equals F ties self dot tie self dot ties. All right, and that is updating our score. Then we also have to update the history. All right, for that, we're going to do self history list box Delete everything out of the list box. All right. And then for entry in self.history. So for each entry that is in our history, we are going to add it back into the list box. At the end. All right, pretty simple there. We're almost done. Now we have to put functionality behind the reset button. Statistics self. All right. I'm going to give you a message box to make sure you want to do it. Statistics. Reset the statistics. Are you sure want to reset all scores? All right. Get an answer to that. If it is positive or true, to reset the wins for us, for the computer. And the ties. All back to 0. We're going to clear the history. We're going to update the scores. We're going to update the history. And that is not right. Text equals statistics and reset. All right. And that is it. Our game is complete. All right. Now it's time to find out how many errors we have made while typing. All right, so we are ready to run this. And here we go. It is running. That's a good sign. Let's try it out. We're going to try rock, paper, scissors. Oh, we're all tied up. Look at that. All right, so we will do it again. Take scissors a few times in a row. And then we will reset statistics, gives us a message box. And the statistics have been reset. All right. Things look good. All right, so that's it. We're on to challenges on how you can improve this project. You can add a best of 5 or best of 10 mode. You can add different computer difficulty levels. Save the high score permanently using a file. You can add sound effects. You could create a 2-player hot seat mode. All right. And that's it. Now you have a complete rock, paper, scissors game with statistics and history. This is a fun project that you can play yourself or show to friends. It also looks great in a programming portfolio. You've learned how to handle game logic, update interfaces dynamically, and track multiple types of data. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more beginner Python projects. Let us know in the comments how we're doing. And we'll see you in the next video where we build a simple text-based adventure game. We'll see you there. As always, remember that you can go to our GitHub page with the links in the description and pinned in a comment to get the code so that you do not have to type.